British media are reporting that for the first time, Ukraine has fired the UK-supplied Storm Shadow missiles into Russia. Neither Ukraine nor Britain have confirmed those reports, which say 12 of the missiles were fired into Kursk, a border region partially held by Ukrainian forces. Storm Shadows are long-range cruise missiles developed jointly by the UK and France. They're launched from fighter jets and have a range of more than 250 kilometers.
Russia's defense ministry releases footage showing Russian tanks in alleged Ukrainian positions. Army, artillery and reconnaissance units helping Moscow gain ground in eastern Ukraine ahead of winter setting in. It's something US President Joe Biden wants to avoid. Washington has authorized to send anti-personnel landmines to Kyiv days after lifting a ban on firing US missiles into Russia.
The landmines that we would look to provide them would be landmines that are not persistent. You know, we can control when they would self-activate, self-detonate, and that makes it far more safer eventually than the things that they are creating on their own.
French Caesar howitzers, Swedish Archers, American multiple-launch rocket systems, firing in a coordinated effort to prevent enemy forces from reaching Allied troops. This is the scenario of the dynamic Front 25 exercise here in Finnish Arctic territory. Finnish forces are considered highly capable and well-trained. Unlike many other European countries, Finland still has conscription for men. During this exercise, that's taking place only 130 kilometers or so from the Russian border, Finnish conscripts are supporting NATO troops with logistics.
While Russia is suspected of severing two communication cable lines between NATO allies in the Baltic Sea, a Chinese vessel has also been implicated in the incident, as Danish authorities detained it on Wednesday. The cuts happened earlier this week to the Sea Lion 3 cable, connecting Finland and Germany, and a 130-mile line connecting Sweden and Lithuania. Investigators are probing the movements of a Chinese bulk carrier that traveled to Egypt from a Russian port. According to data tracking, the ship passed close to both telecommunication cables around the time each was severed Sunday and Monday. The Danish Navy shadowed the vessel, eventually detaining it.
At least 66 Palestinians have been killed in a series of late-night Israeli airstrikes on Beit Lahiya in the north of the Strip. Most of the dead are women and children. More than 100 others have been injured. The attack targeted a residential neighborhood near the Kamal Adwan Hospital. Dr. Hussam Abu Safiya is the director of Kamal Adwan Hospital. He says most of the victims were sleeping when they were killed.
They're the popular platforms keeping children glued to their screens, often with catastrophic consequences. The federal government introducing a bold bill to block kids under 16 from online apps. Under the proposed laws, tech companies will face fines of up to $50 million if they fail to comply. They'll be bound to a duty of care, forcing them to proactively monitor and delete harmful material rather than wait for complaints. Age-restricted apps will include TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, X and Reddit, while online games, messaging, health and education services will be exempt, including YouTube, WhatsApp and Google Classroom.
A volcano has erupted on Iceland's Reykjanes Peninsula, triggering civil defence to declare a state of emergency and order evacuations of Grindavik and the Blue Lagoon. It's the country's 7th volcanic eruption this year, but the Icelandic Meteorological Office says it's a lot smaller than the previous one in August. The area's chief of police said there was no immediate danger and residents are well versed in how evacuations are carried out.